Royals, it's your girl Felicity G back with another one just to let you know that today is a great day to be great. Welcome to Her TV. In this space, we want to set an atmosphere where we can come together and discuss different topics in hopes to help you along your journey to becoming her, healed, empowered, and recovered. We want to reassure queens like yourself that you are seen, loved, and heard. Through these conversations, we want to remind you that it is never too late to start again and that you are never alone. Today, our guest is none other than Caroline. I can tell you about her, but I'll allow her to tell you about herself. Caroline, tell the queens today, who are you?
Hey, queens out there. So for those who don't know me, as she said, I'm Caroline. Most people know me as Caroline Ann on all social media platforms. So what is it that I do, y'all? Pretty much I wear a lot of different hats, but my main hats that I wear on a daily is I'm a life coach for Black women who are trying to become their best selves in their life, in their jobs, and in their relationships with others as well. So I help them to change their mindset, help them to get on the right path, and help them to be in the right environment for them to be able to get the change that they're hoping to see within themselves and to see around themselves as well. And then also I'm a children's book author for young Black girls. I write children's books to help young Black girls to love who they are, to basically promote self-love as well, and also the relationships that they have in their lives as well. So the relationships that they have with their mothers, and how important that is for young Black girls to be able to become a Black woman living in society today. And then also, lastly, I am the CEO of an online digital magazine called QueenHer magazine, which promotes Black women with businesses. So we give them a platform, we give them a day where they're able to let their hair down, tell their story, promote their business, and just be who they are and the world to see the person behind the brand as well. So those are a little bit of what I do and a little bit of hats that I wear and everything else. And thank you for having me. Like, I'm excited about this. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm excited.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So, ladies, you can see that Caroline is a woman of many hats. She wears many, many hats. So, going right into it today, our topic is changing the narrative. We've seen that as young women in society, things have been going one way for far too long. We can go on social media every day. You see people complaining about this happening and that happening. But if we want to see change, I believe we have to be a part of that change. I'm a firm believer that if you want to see change in your life, you have to be a part of that change. You have to make the necessary steps to change what it is that you see needs to change. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is change begins with you. Change begins with you recognizing that there's a problem and there needs to be a solution. And if you see that it's not going anywhere, it's still there, but you know within yourself there needs to be some change, it has to start with you. You within yourself need to know, okay, there is a problem, we need to find a solution. Caroline, tell me, what do you think about that?
I could definitely agree with that. I feel like a lot of the times we feel like change is an outside job, but actually it's a inside job of us. And that's one thing that I'm learning through this whole process of being a life coach is that, a lot of things that we feel like we can't control, we can control. And as you mentioned, it starts with you. It starts from within. It starts with you first acknowledging the fact that you need that change in your life. And then finding what it is that is, distracting you or blocking that change that's supposed to come in your life. And then also taking those proper steps that you need for you to instill that change process throughout your life as well. But it definitely starts with your mindset first. So like making sure that you're pouring as much positivity, as much goodness, as much as you want to be able to put out, you're putting into yourself. And like she said, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of negativity. It's a lot of, stuff that can fill your mind up with things that you don't want to see, you don't want to know about. So it's good for you to fill your mind up with the positivity, those affirmations, just, positive people. Even listening to, like, I know one of my favorite people to listen to is Sarah Jakes Roberts. Like, that's my go-to girl in the morning. Like, it's not a day that I don't listen to her, that she's not literally pouring into me and stuff like that, or just doing those things that bring your mind to peace. So meditation, little exercises like writing and stuff, finding that happy place, finding something within yourself that makes you find those happy moments, so that you're not depending on anybody else to bring that happiness to you and stuff like that. So she's, like I said, this is definitely a topic that needs to be touched upon. It's definitely something that we need to start focusing on, because it's something that starts with us.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that I wanted to point out as well, we always talk about change, but some people don't realize that change is needed. Some people are oblivious to the fact that there needs to be some change. And it all goes around who you hang out with, who's in your circle, who's around you on a day-to-day basis. Because if your circle or people who you're around aren't helping you to see that there needs to be some change, there needs to be some type of growth, then that means your circle needs to be changed, because there's always room for improvement. Sometimes you have to sit down and reflect, understand why are things going a certain way? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? But a lot of times we don't recognize that until the people in our lives, persons in our circle, actually point that out. And so if you don't have persons in your circle who can point that out and say, hey, this is this and that is that. If you don't have that in your circle, then you become oblivious to it, and then you continue moving on, and then the cycle is, is ever evolving, and you just continue on in this cycle, and then before you know it, you're still in the same place 10, 20, 30 years down the line. So it all, before you recognize it, sometimes you need someone in your circle, someone who's around you on a day-to-day basis to recognize it, to let you know, hey, there needs to be some type of change if you want to be this person, or if you want to make this change. And another thing, a lot of people feel like you have to have this big platform for change, and you have to have, all of these different resources. But a lot of times what you need is right inside of you. It's right inside of you. You just need to sit down, find like-minded people who would be willing to help you on this journey to change. You know what I mean? So it's all about who you have around you, your mindset, because it all starts in the mind, and you can go from there.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what you said, yes, it is the people that you surround yourself around. And what I find is a lot of people don't want to let go of the people they're around. So, they want the change, but it's like, I don't want to, let go of this person. I don't want to, stop hanging around this environment, this and that. And half of the time, it is your environment that you need to start with, because you can get all the change in the world that you want. But if you're continually surrounding yourself around people who do nothing but diminish that change that you're getting, you're not going to get any results. And you're always going to feel like, what I'm doing, like, I do want change, but what I'm doing is not working. But it could be your environment. It could be you not trying to let go of people and the environment that you're in that is stopping you from really seeing that change that you want to see.
Exactly. So as we were saying, it starts with you. It starts with your circle, who you have around you, and it starts with your mindset. What is it that you think needs to change? What are the necessary steps that you think, or that you need to channel, or you need to write down, or you need to begin this process towards that change? So with that being said, we'll be moving right into our first round of 4 Pick 1 Song. Now, 4 Pick 1 Song is a game where you have 4 pictures depicting one song, and you would have 10 seconds to guess what the song is. The theme of all the songs today is Happy Holidays. So it's all Christmas songs. So Caroline, when you're ready, just let me know and we can have the first picture to come up. Okay, so 10 seconds on the clock. Can you see the picture?
Ooh.
Time
Yes.
is up.
What? I didn't know I was supposed to answer so fast.
Can you tell us what that is?
It's Jingle Bells.
No.
No?
Look at it properly. Look at it properly.
All I Want for Christmas?
No.
Is you? Why is Santa wearing a mask? Ooh. Hey Santa?
Mm-mm. One more try.
Ooh, I'm sucking at it.
One more try.
Sleigh bells ring. Yeah. I ain't gonna get this one.
This song is Santa Baby.
I thought I just said Santa Baby.
You did? I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry. I did not hear you.
I did say Santa Baby.
Okay.
I did at one point. I think it wasn't before the time was up, but
all right,
yeah.
we'll give you that point. We'll give you that point.
Oh, okay.
All right, so moving
that
right
time
along.
went by real fast. I didn't know we were starting.
Yeah. So moving right along into our next point. So about changing the narrative, we understand that is the first thing you have to do is understand that change begins with you. You seeing the problem and knowing that there needs to be a solution to the problem. Now, the second thing is, once you would have already understand that there needs to be a solution to the problem, there is a problem and there needs to be a solution to the problem, it's time to take action. It's time to take action on what you think the solution is. You've already gathered your points. You've already gathered the different steps to what you think, needs to be done. Now it's time for you to take action as to what you're gonna do now to solve this issue. So Caroline, tell me, what do you think about that?
So like you said, so I think starting something is never easy. Definitely when it comes to ourselves and stuff. And like I said, it takes a lot of you figuring out what it is, that change that you really want to see. And then taking those proper steps, but not retracking yourself. So a lot of times people will say, yes, I want change. And I'm going to start. Mm-hmm. But I think the hardest part is to continue going through the change. Mm-hmm. Some people retract themselves so many times. I've done seen it with plenty of my clients, one that I'm dealing with right now, where she changed her environment, changed the people around her, mm-hmm. but now she's going back to those people because that is all she knows and stuff. I think that because we're so familiar with what we know and what we're so used to, that when we do get that change, it's scary to see. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. I feel like a lot of times when stuff is scary, a lot of times when stuff shows us basically certain things about ourselves, that's when we know that change is really happening in our lives. Definitely. So definitely sticking to those plans. So sticking to, if you have a daily routine that you done changed up so that you're not surrounded around certain people or certain people don't call you, you need to stick to that. I think the main thing is basically staying on track. You can say you want change all you want. You can change your environment. You can do all of those steps. But if you're going back to what you know because of you're comfortable with that, you're going back to what you know because that's something that you were so used to seeing or hearing and stuff like that, it can detour your journey to change mm-hmm. and stuff. So I think definitely making sure that you have a routine and sticking to that routine every single day. And I know it gets hard. I know sometimes we get thrown off. We don't always, have those good days to keep us on track, but just remembering how hard it is for you to stay in that environment, how hard it is for you to stay in with those people around those things, and remember how good things can be if you just distract yourself from it. Definitely. And stay on track with things.
Definitely. And to add to what you're saying, as the saying goes, familiarity breeds contempt. So if you continue going back to what you know, the change can take place. And it, like you said, change is a very scary process because it's a new thing now being birthed, something that you're not used to, something you're not used to seeing. But it's good to hold yourself accountable, or even have persons around you who can help you to be, who can be your accountable partners, you know, because as we were saying, sometimes because this thing is so new, it scares you. And so you feel as though, you know, let me just retreat back to what I know. So now I can feel comfortable and I don't have to really move there. But it's in the new level where now things are changing, things are, you know, taking a turn. But it's always important to have someone to hold you accountable, as well as you holding yourself accountable for the change that you are trying to make.
Yeah, we agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Because this changing process is not easy at all, but it's so worth it. It's worth it once you get to that new level. Because every time, I think one of the things is, one of the problems of change is a lot of people are trying to get into a new level, but trying to carry the old them. And the new level requires a new you. And so that's where the scary thing comes in. You're trying to get into a new level, but you're trying to bring the old you with you. That can't happen because the old you has old ways of thinking, old ways of doing things. But this new level requires a new level of thinking, new level of doing things.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. And like you said, like it's a scary thing. Like we're so content with what we know. That sometimes when we're stepping into a new path, stepping into a new journey, you know, we don't know what direction we're going to go and we don't know how it's going to turn out and everything like that. But I think it's so much more weight on your shoulders for you to stay where you're at. Like, because you're going to continue to see people go forward in your life or go forward around you, and you're wondering why you're still stuck. You're wondering why you're still. And it's because of the fact that, yeah, you got in your mind that you want that change, but you haven't really took those, you know, those steps to really changing your life and stuff. So that is, I feel like that's more, you know, I guess more depressing or more, you know, sad than you know, changing. And let's say, you know, something doesn't go right away. And now you got to, you know, change things up, or you got to start doing this or doing that and stuff like that. Like you sitting there watching yourself stay in the same place and people move forward, it brings you down even more. I don't care what nobody says. That brings you down even more because you're still trying to figure out why it is that you're in the same place, or why it is that, you know, this person is getting ahead and this and that. Like, that's more mind-blowing than, you know, me stepping into change and me failing and things not, you know, going the way I want them to go and stuff like that, which is going to happen. Like, I think if we're sitting around and we're afraid to fail, we're never going to get anywhere in life. And that's just the way things are going to be. You got to fail to be able to succeed. And if you don't know what it is that you're, you know, failing at, or what you're not good at, you're never going to know, you know, where it is that you need to be in your life and stuff. So, like I said, it's a scary thing. I myself went through the whole process, and I was just like, really, am I really doing this? Like, this means that I got to cut this person off. This means that I got to cut this person off. This means that I can't be involved in this environment anymore and stuff like that. But this is what I'm used to. But at the same time, once you hit that process of changing, you see that once you lose certain people, I'm telling you, you start to see different levels in your life. You like, what? Is God really giving me this? Am I really at this point in my life? Yep. And I just had to let this person go. Like, I just had to let this person go, and that's it. So once you see the progress of it and stuff, you start to realize, like, dang, it was worth it. Like, that was something that I needed to do.
Definitely. And going back to something you were saying, you sometimes in your changing process, you see other people on their journey to change, and it looks like they're moving faster than you, and you're trying to figure out why is it that you're still in one place. One thing I would say is to never compare your changing journey to someone else, because you may be looking at them and saying, oh, they're moving faster. And they may be looking at you and say, you're moving faster, but you never know what they're going through in their journey of change. Change isn't something that comes overnight. Yeah. It's something that comes right there and then. There's a whole process that you have to go through in order for the change to come. So when you see a person is on that track and they look like they are doing stuff, don't compare yourself to them, because you're in a different journey from them. They're on a different path from you. So you can't compare yourself to what they may be doing because they're on a different path altogether from you. What your change might look like, their change won't look like that. So you have to stay focused. It's almost like having a tunnel vision. You have to stay focused on the path before you and allow them to stay focused on the path before them. And the most you can do is encourage them, because now you understand that you're going through change, and you understand that they're going through change. So it'll be better to just encourage them, support them, and believe in them during their process of change, but not to compare yourself to them, because you never know what they're going through, what they did to get where they are, and what they're doing now. They may be suffering within their change as well. And so it's best that you just stay focused on your course, because everyone has a different course. And some people had to do, some good things to get where they are. Some people had to do some bad things to get where they are. So it's always important to stay focused on the path before you. Don't worry about who's on the side of you, who's on the, on the other side of you, or who is in the back of you. Just focus on where you are. And I believe as long as we understand that we need to focus on our own path, things would be so much better.
Yeah, and I get it. It's sometimes hard to block out other people. Definitely when you're seeing like what everybody else is doing on a consistent basis. And that's why I say, like, sometimes it's better for you to get on social media sometimes and follow who you really, people who encourage you, people who want to, be who are where you want to be and stuff, because that is what's going to keep you going. Not the people who show you the good all the time. And that's one thing I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, I get it. Like, social media, yes, it do look nice sometimes. But at the same time, we got to show people some bad in our journey. Because I can look at all the good you're doing, but if I don't see like any, downfalls or any hardships you went through to get to that good, then I'm not going to really understand where you're at. Like, and that's why, like, I'm so transparent on social media and stuff like that, because I'm transparent in my life as well. And I don't want anybody to ever think that this person who's pouring into everybody has this perfect life, because at the end of the day, I don't. And I want people to understand, like, I do have my days where I'm, not feeling like being bothered. I do have my days where, things don't go right, and stuff like that. But I also have my days where I'm able to manage and get through them. And those are the days that people see, like, okay, well, she's doing that, and stuff like that. But they're also saying, like, dang, she got her days where, she's just not feeling like being bothered, or she's just down and out, or can't handle this and can't handle that. But she's able to manage through life. And that makes people more understanding to your journey and where you're going and the path that you're on, because I know that you're human. I know that you're going through the same things that I may be going through. Your days are not always going to be good days. And sometimes you're pouring into people because you need somebody to pour into you. Like, exactly. I'm straight up with that. Like, I'm quick on telling somebody, hey, I just gave y'all advice, but I needed to hear it myself. And I just knew that somebody else needs to hear it as well. Like,
that's why it's important of who you follow on social media and how much you allow it to impact you. Because a lot of persons are putting things on social media and it's not real. So it goes a long way. It goes a long way. So with that being said, we'll move right into round 2 of 4 Pick One Song. Let's see if Caroline can redeem herself from the first round. All right, I'll let you know when I put the 10 seconds on the clock, okay?
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Under the mistletoe, kissing under the mistletoe.
No.
Something mistletoe. This Christmas.
Yes. Right on the buzzer. Right on the buzzer. Yes.
Like the characters. Okay. Y'all just don't pay me no mind. I know.
Right on the
At least I got it though. I got it.
Yes,
I'm thinking of songs and stuff, but then again, this Christmas is a song as well.
Yes.
So y'all can tell I ain't good at games. Ooh.
Yes, finally, she got it right on the buzzer.
I need some multiple choice answers on these.
All right, so moving right along. So we would have already touched on, recognizing that change begins with us. It's a personal process. And then, after you realize there needs to be change, there needs to be a solution to the problem, you need to take action. And with taking action, it's a new level, so it requires a new us. And so it's easier for us to retreat back to familiarity. So it's always important to have someone to hold us accountable, as well as we holding ourselves accountable. And so now, as we were saying, it's all a new process. You don't know what this new path is going to bring. And so now, because it requires a new you have to learn some things and you have to unlearn some things.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, it's a new you now. So you have to learn all the new things that this new level is requiring from you. And then you have to unlearn all those old habits that you would have had in your past life or, whatever it is. So now you're in a process of learning and unlearning. And we all know that process is not easy at all, because sometimes we have years and years and years of habits. And so because these habits have been with us so long, it's not that easy to just break them just like that. So Caroline, tell us what do you think about that?
So you're mentioning is like everything that I teach my clients to do. So like habits is one of the things like in the beginning stage that we touch on, because that is one of the things that can have a deterrent if you move forward, if you don't move forward. Because if I'm going to give you different steps to do to start you on a new journey, I need you to get rid of some of the bad habits or some of the habits that you have and create new habits. So I think acknowledging those habits that you have and, acknowledging the good and acknowledging the bad. Okay, that's first and foremost, knowing that you have these habits. And then two, what is it that these habits are doing for me? Are they doing good for me? Are they doing bad for me? And if they're doing bad for me, I need to figure out a way to implement them into my life so that they can do good. I don't feel like there's anything that you are doing that can't be turned into something positive, okay? So for example, if I'm waking up late every single day, and I know that I want to get up earlier so that I can start my day off and be able to get everything in that I'm trying to do throughout my day, that means that I need to start getting up a little bit earlier. That means that I have a habit of getting up late. Okay, so now what do I need to do to be able to get up earlier? Maybe I need to start going to sleep a lot more earlier so that I'm not as tired when I'm getting up early. Or maybe I need to, stop talking to these certain people or going out or doing these certain things so that I'm able to implement getting up early. So I'm able to get everything in that I need to get in throughout the day. So it's just literally you turning every single habit that you may have that you're trying to get rid of into something positive. What is it that I need to do in order for this habit to go away or this habit to, slowly, fall off of what I'm doing and stuff. And like I said, it just takes you, creating new habits.
Yeah.
Looking at those old habits and then creating them into something new. Like, and it sounds so simple. And I tell people all the time, it's literally that simple, but it is literally that simple. It's knowing what it is that you really want and then, working towards it. And anything that is not in your daily basis that's helping you to, pour into yourself or helping you to help you grow throughout each day, then you don't need to continue doing it. Exactly. Like, you don't need to continue doing it. And it's a matter of discipline. Like, and I say it all the time, and I think discipline is one of our hardest things to do, but it's a matter of us knowing like, okay, I have this habit. I want to stop this habit, because if I don't stop this habit, then I'm going to continue waking up late. I'm going to continue rushing through my day. I'm not going to be able to prepare my mind and do all of these things and stuff like that. And just, like I said, making that choice to say, I'm going to stop doing this so that I'm able to do this. So this is able to benefit me in the long run and stuff like that. And don't look at what it's doing now. Like, it's going to take time for you to have a new habit. Like, it's going to take time for you to put that new habit into play. Exactly. And each day you go about doing it and stuff like that. Like, meditation was one of the habits that I had to like implement into my life, because I felt like I had a self-development in the morning, but I needed something that was going to ease my mind, bring my mind to one thing, to focus on one thing. Mm-hmm. And it took me months, and I'm still like in the process of trying to get meditation down, because I'm like, dang, my mind's still going all over the place. But I learned to, implement a habit of, okay, writing down what it is that I'm trying to, manifest, or writing down what it is that I'm trying to meditate about, and focusing solely on that. And that has helped me to be like, okay, well, I'm not thinking about this. I'm literally taking my mind right back to the thing that I just wrote down. Like, so I'm not getting distracted in this. I'm not getting distracted in that, because literally what people don't understand, meditation, sometimes you're thinking about everything. Like, it is the hardest thing to do at times, because you're thinking about everything.
Yep.
And it tells you to focus on one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. But I found like, me writing something down and me literally looking over it, reading over it before I even meditate, and within me meditating, me bringing my mind right back to that thing that I wrote down, helps me better to focus and stuff like that. But that was a habit that I thought was like, it was something I thought I couldn't do, because my first time doing it, I literally couldn't do it. Like, I was like laughing, I was distracted, I was just all over the place. So I was like, this ain't for me. So after a while of doing it and me implementing it in my morning routine, like, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this, this, and this, and you're going to stick to it every single day, made it a lot more easier. Okay, I have to do this when I wake up in the morning. I have to do this when I wake up in the morning and stuff like that. But it was a habit that I didn't have, but I wanted to get rid of my mind being all over the place. I wanted that habit of me always thinking about everything that's going on in the morning, to me thinking about one thing, and throughout the day, staying focused on that one thing, so I knew what it was that I needed to accomplish throughout the day.
Exactly. And I think the first thing that we need to understand about learning and unlearning is the fact that it's doable. It's a process, but it's doable. It can be done, but you have to take it one step at a time. It's not something that happens overnight, as you said. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a process. You just have to take it one step at a time and gradually, put yourself in the groove of doing it. But it's doable. And another thing, you have to make a conscious effort to, towards this learning and unlearning, because a lot of times, if we're not paying attention, or if we're not conscious of it, we can revert right back to old habits and doing the same thing. But you have to, pay attention. Like you say, you have to bring yourself right back to it, because sometimes you're not paying attention. Subconsciously, you just go right back to what you're used to, what you're familiar with. But you have to pay attention, keep yourself, vigilant on the fact that you're on a change, you're on a process. So you have to focus on the things that before you. You have to focus on the things that you're supposed to be doing on this change, on this process to change. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. And you said subconsciously. Like, our self-conscious is what stops us from doing a lot of things what people don't understand. Like, the mind has different parts to it. And our self-conscious is usually the one that's telling us, don't do this, or you don't have to do this. But if you do this and stuff like that, it's like the negative side to things at times. And when we realize, like, dang, like, I have more power over, me saying, if I do this, this is what's going to happen, or I have to do this, and telling yourself you have to do it. Like, it's not, I think the hardest thing sometimes is us talking ourselves out of what it is that we don't want to do.
Yep.
Like, because there's plenty of times I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, okay, I'm just not going to do nothing today. I'm not going to do nothing today. Like, today's going to be one of those days I'm not going to do nothing, because it's so much easier for me to get by the day, not doing nothing, not answering my phone, not doing this. But then I go back to my mind and I'm like, wait a second, but if I don't do this, that means that tomorrow I'm gonna have to do all of this. And I'm gonna be tired out. I'm not gonna get everything I need to get done. So I might as well just get up right now and do what I gotta do. And then tomorrow have a day off. So I'll be good. So it's just a matter of you pulling yourself out of those slumps and just knowing like I have control over my mind. I have control over what it is that I, really want to do. And if I really want to do it, I just got to pull myself out of it. Like,
Yep. So the number one thing is taking control. Don't allow it to control you. But you take control of it. So moving right along, we're going into round 3 of 4 pick one song.
Let's see how this
All right. Picture is up and 10 seconds is on the clock.
I found Mama kissing Santa Claus under the mistletoe.
No.
It's probably not the whole song. It might be.
No.
Mistletoe?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, it's mistletoe.
Yes. Yes.
You see, that's my problem. I to say the lyrics from the song instead of just saying what the song is. Okay, but I got it.
Awesome. So you got one, the first one by default, and you redeemed yourself in round 2 and round 3. So now you
I think I had that courage.
Yes, you have 3 out of 4.
Thank you, y'all. I appreciate it.
3 out of 4. Oh wow, I think this is the best we've ever had so far.
I'm trying, y'all. As y'all see, games is not for me.
So, Queens, comment down in the comment section below. Let us know. Let me know, how is this game going? How is the conversation going for you? Let us know what you're thinking, how you feel. I want to hear your feedback. So right into our next point. We understand, as I would have said, change begins with you. You have to first of all know that there needs to be a change. Then there is a problem, it needs a solution. The next thing is taking action now on this process to change. In the meantime, you have to hold yourself accountable, understanding that it's a process. Familiarity will, sneak its way in, but you have to hold yourself accountable as well as having someone else to hold you accountable of your actions. Another thing is learning and unlearning, understanding that this process is all about becoming a new person, getting on a new level, and the new level is requiring a new you. So now you're unlearning old habits to learn new habits. And our next point now is what we're going to talk about is being able to be teachable, understanding that you don't know everything. Sometimes you have to reach out for help. This process is all about getting help, not you just trying to figure out things on your own, but understanding that there are persons out there who were on this journey before you, who may have passed this level, may have had the same issue with this level and, was able to elevate to another level, getting through this level. So it's important to understand that in each level, you have to be teachable and being able to listen to understand and not listen to reply. Because a lot of people feel like, I'll listen to you, I'm listening to all the pretty words you're saying, but they're not really understanding what you're telling them.
Yeah.
So Caroline, tell me about that.
So I definitely agree with that. I feel like a lot of times, like, we don't listen. Like, it takes so much in us to just like listen to what it is that we need to hear at times. And I think we fall to not listening because we don't want to hear what it is that we need to hear at times. And I've always been surrounded around people that were older than me. And as much as, you know, sometimes we don't like what the older generation has to say, you know, we don't necessarily agree with what it is that they have to say. Sometimes they are saying things that we need to hear. And, you know, they have gotten through an era that we haven't seen. I feel like we are spoiled in the era that we're in. And we tend to not listen to people who may have gone through the same situations in a whole different way. So it's more, they have more knowledge on how to handle it in a more, I guess, non-technological, if that's a word, non-technology way, okay? And those ways can be a lot more informative. Those ways could be a lot more informative. Those ways could be a lot more beneficial, because it's showing us that, you know, we don't need all of these things. We don't need all of these things to accomplish certain things that we want to accomplish in our lives. We don't need all of these things to be where it is that we want to be at times. And, you know, it's so easy for us to say, yes, I need this, or yes, I need that, but not go out and get it.
Exactly.
And, you know, sometimes somebody is telling us what it is that we need right in front of our face. It's all right there in front of our face. But because we're so naive, because we don't want to listen, because we think that we know everything, like we're in a generation where we know everything. We know everything. We're quick to say, we know everything, but we quick to Google everything, okay? Let's be honest. We're quick to say, I know it, but yeah, I'm going to Google, or I'm going to Instagram, or I'm going to the shade room. I'm going somewhere to get the information that I need. When in actuality, that information can be right in front of you if you just open a book. That information can be right in front of you if you wrote down what it is that person said that you was talking to 5 minutes ago. Like, there's plenty of things that we don't even realize that we take in on a daily basis, and we just sit there and listen. Like, and that goes to tell you with certain stuff as well. It's like finding that help that you need. Sometimes we don't want to acknowledge the help that we need because we're afraid of what somebody else is going to say. Like, I think my biggest thing was like before I started going to therapy, it was like, dang, what is my parents going, you know, what is my family going to think? What is this person going to think? Like, are they going to judge me off of going to this? Like, do I really need it? Do they think I really need it? That was my main, like, those were the thoughts that were going through my head. But when I was alone, I felt so much different. I knew that I needed it. And I think once you realize that, you know, it doesn't matter what people think that you need. When you know that you need something, when you know that you're not able to give yourself what it is through the healing process that you need, and you need more help, it is up to you to take that initiative, reach out to whoever you got to reach out to, step up and do whatever you got to do to get that help that you need. But I do think that we need to sometimes get out of our own heads with thinking that we know everything, because we don't know everything at the end of the day. And if you're not willing to sit there and continue to learn, because the most successful people, and if we continue to read books, and I'm telling you, I read a book every single day, but if we continue to read books, some of the most successful people have taken a step back and learned from people and just listened. And just, you know, just listen, took in what they learned and just listen and stuff like that. And we don't do that. We're just we're simple-minded. We're very simple-minded. Like, and sometimes we got to literally get out of our own heads and say, you know, I really don't know it, but I'm also going to be, have the courage to be able to be willing to learn and always want to learn. You got to be always wanting to learn. That's the only way you're going to continue to grow. If you think that you know everything, and let's say you get a position or something that you really want, they're not going to want, what do they need to help you for?
Exactly.
What do they need to help you for?
Exactly.
Because you already think that you know everything. So why would somebody else want to help you?
Exactly.
Like, we got to be mindful of that. We got to be mindful of ourselves and just know that you always have room to grow. You always have room to learn. You always have room to get more of what it is that you have.
That's so true. Because even a lot of times we have information and we think this is the perfect set of information that we have. And then when you really look at it, this doesn't even apply to the step or the path that you're in right now. You need help to navigate this specific, you know, stage that you're in right now. So sometimes, a lot of times, you have to like reach out and try and find someone who can help you along this path. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all about being teachable, understanding that you don't know everything. If you did know everything, then you wouldn't have to be on this path or this journey to change.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
and you would be where you would be where it is that you want to be. Like, and that's what people don't understand. Like, they question, okay, why am I not where I want to be, or why this and that? Well, you got all the knowledge, you got everything you need. So why is it that you should be able to answer that? Why is it that you're not where you want to be? So it's like, you know, we got to take, like I said, we got to take that step back and just know we don't know everything. Like, and I'm quick to tell somebody I don't know it, but I will go find out for you. I will go ask this person and stuff like that. Like, and that's one thing that I think that has come so easy to me. If I don't know it, I'm going to go find somebody who does know it, or I'm going to Google somebody who knows it. Like, I remember when I first started on TikTok and people were reaching out to me about like different businesses. Somebody had reached out to me about a vending machine. You know what I did? I didn't know anything about vending machines. I did not. I researched somebody who had a vending machine business, and, you know, reached out to them, was like, you know, what did you do? But off of that person could have did the same thing. But me being me, I'm like, there's always somebody out there that knows more than I do. Let me use my resources. Let me reach out to this person and get the information. Sometimes people don't know how to do that. Like, sometimes people really don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I think underneath all of this, the first thing that comes to mind is humility. You have to be humble about this entire process. You have to, because as we were saying, one, you don't know everything. This is a new level, so it requires a new you. So it's almost like you're back at the baby stage, learning everything. So you have to be humble about everything and understand as well that you're going to have people who don't want to give you the information, but that doesn't mean that you stop right there. You continue on. As we were saying throughout this whole thing. Change is a process. You won't get it the first time. But as the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, you try and try and try again. Because at some point, someone is going to come along, something is going to come along that will help you in a major way during your process, during your change, during your journey. But it's all about being humble, being teachable, and having the drive to want to change.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're moving right into our final round.
Oh man.
A final round of 4 pick 1 song. 10 seconds is going on the clock right now. Let's go.
Jingle bells?
No.
Is it jingle bells? Slave ride.
Time up.
Something.
Time is up. Let's hear what you have to say. Give us an answer.
Isn't it Slave Ride or something? No? It got Mariah Carey in it, so hold on.
Mariah Carey and Justin Bieber.
Can I phone somebody? Can one of my can somebody give me the answer? I feel like this is Merry Christmas. Don't we got the answer on there? Yeah, I need a lifeline. I can't get the word out. I need a lifeline first. What is this? I feel like I know the song.
You do. Everybody knows the song.
The song is.
I'll give you one hint.
Okay.
Both Mariah Carey and Justin Bieber sang the song. Both the
Oh, okay. I knew that. All I Want for Christmas.
Yes.
It's a lot of people who sing that song. It's a lot of people who sing that song.
This version is Mariah Carey and Justin Bieber.
I need like multiple choice answers.
All right, so
I could not get it.
She managed to get 4 out of 4. The first person that came and got 4 out of 4.
Oh man.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Thanks to my lifelines, thanks to my my hype man.
Well, I
appreciate y'all.
That is the end of our conversation here today. I must say I really enjoyed this conversation. It is something that is much needed. And Caroline, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being a
Thank
part
you for
of
having me.
No problem at all. No problem at all. But if you have any of your social media handles that you would like to let the audience know, let them know.
So on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you guys can find me at Caroline N, 3 E's, 3 N's. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
If I'm not following you guys, but yeah.
All right. So just a little recap of what we were speaking about. We understand that, in order to change the narrative, you have to know that first change begins with you. It has to start with a personal encounter. Second, once you've already understood that there is a problem, needs change, you have to take action. With action, we understand that it's a new level. New level requires a new you. And it's easy for familiarity to sneak back in. So sometimes you have to hold yourself accountable as well as having someone else to hold you accountable. Aside from that, because it's a new level and it's a new you have to learn and unlearn. There's a lot of habits that you have to, do away with, and there's a lot of habits that you need to learn for this new level. And finally, you have to be able to be teachable, be able to understand and know that you don't know everything. There's always someone out there who knows more than you, who's experienced more than you. And so never be afraid to, reach out. You can do it. Understanding that you can do it. All you need is humility, understanding, and being able to be teachable. Thank you, Royals, for tuning in. See you next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Follow us on all our social media platforms linked in the description below. Until then, remember, you are a queen, you are royalty. So walk like it, talk like it, dress like it, show up like it, and wait for the godly man that treats you like it. Have a great day, queens.